my father was a teacher for the States, and then I'm like, I was working in 60 and I did last
Please welcome our official first players down to the NPL feature Macquarie City, taking on the Rosebud.
We were not there, but less we were just at recently. And next Friday, we had Easter that Sunday. No, we're supposed to eat them. Yes, it's all right, I'll just eat it.
I've actually got official, not just with Jeff and Matt going forward. I don't know, but that's what exactly. I don't believe in our money.
You know what, there's people out there who do my that's really, that's all gone.
I've heard them when they are older days, when Easter,
you know, I was at Woolworths at Belmont shopping yesterday and nearly all their juices.
But I tell you what, doesn't it taste nice in the road?
There's something, I think it's different chocolate. It's very chocolate. It's different, yeah.
Now,
they had the big lids and the boxes, but there's all chocolate that they can run this. About that right. Going out of
I'd say
and it all done in there. But you know, there was no little small they had caramellos, Oreos, crunchies, there was just one little bag just plain eggs. Well, we were shopping to want to get those shorts. One's from no, actually. Who's the dead one? Where are you talking about? And another mosquito. Mosquito cool.
way down wide.
If you wear long pants, I'll never show you this.
You're not mosquitoes. What do you want to show me?
Probably breached, but
Are they drawstring feet?
You know, I've done that. It's really like it.
I don't think you'll get it out. Oh wow! Season's finished.
You really think you're going to go shopping?
what do you want to do with that?
That's David God.
That's the same as when I go to the that's done.
That's why it's one of these evenings. So I said, well, can't you go to Audi for $65? Oh my God, then Doc, it's back to the phone.
Isn't that fun with it?
Oh.
So where's airport? Where's Bill?
Have you lost
You
Bill?
didn't leave your own bill there. Who did? Stop getting it. You're not getting it.
I want.
You want what job is you got what from your CV?
Yeah, no, that's fine. We've got to get black ones for them. Yeah, just transfer it. Yeah, you have to have black ones.
So fast. So we'll come back Wednesday night. He was going to come back Wednesday night. Because they do closing sometimes.
Roads are closed in March.
So I said, you know what, just go Thursday night, or Wednesday night.
When you go, oh, you've still got to run, yeah.
He'll just come straight back. Yeah, so don't really get me calm, get your city.
Rain, how was it going on? Oh, well, you're hungry.
They always call it off.
Hey, like you straight.
Yep.
I don't know what's on these. Giving you a house.
There you go. Is he going to get something to eat?
I'm sure I'll see you.
I'm sure you will.
You might be in here.
Oh, no. What, in 2 years? Yeah.
I'll take it back in.
What's the background?
Going the right way, Manoli?
Yeah, we actually went left before we went over.
score to Adamstown 1, Macquarie 2-0.
I remember we played Thursday as well. Good on you, boys.
When the Tigers on Monday night. That's half time. Now, please NPL picture with Adamstown, Rosebud 1. Leading Macquarie. Macquarie City Football Club would like to thank its sponsors for 2019, including our after-game sponsor. It is located on the Esplanade of the Point, and everyone is invited back. 250 at the conclusion of the first grade fixture this afternoon. Our other famous sponsors, Billy's Lookout, NPL u20s sponsor. Billy's Lookout is located in Corona, overlooking Lake Macquarie. Queen's Hotel, our away games after match sponsor. Active Accounting Group for your accounting needs. And Middleform Industries, servicing the mining, building, rail and power generating industries for over 15 years. Our gold sponsors, Coastline Tools and Spa, Rail Bowling Club, Liberty Industrial, Contract, Club Macquarie, Creation Plumbing, Perfect, Thanks to you, blinds and shutters, Longwall Hall, Underwriting Agencies of Australia. Thank you also to our associate sponsors, Westlake Trophies, Best Team Sport, Natural Direction Health, Sports Power, Bakers Delight, and Co-Sports. Thank you to all our sponsors for 2019. Without his support, we wouldn't be getting our team on the park. A reminder as well, camping facilities are open at the southern end of the ground, serving a large variety of hot and cold foods, pizza rolls, hot chips, bacon beef rolls, soft drinks, espresso coffee, and of course water. The beer shed is also open. The beer shed is located adjacent to Adamstown.
Hi, Control. This is Stephanie. For some reason my camera says it's running off battery and I've got 29 minutes left and I've tried the plug in different plugs and it's not fixing it. 28 minutes.
done it first, if you notice.
I'm gonna let you these anyway.
Thank you so much.
Too easy.
Because I knew the power was on because I kept charging my phone and all of the ports, so.
This one's just bad.
Thank you so much.
Maybe the one.
See you, Josh.
score by number 22, Connor Curtis. Make the score to Macquarie City 1, Adamstown Rosebud 1.
And a very good afternoon from Macquarie Field. You're live on Bar TV Sports. It's round 7 of the NPL Northern New South Wales, and it's excellent to have your company this Good Friday. A big day of football, 3 matches. We're streaming all of them on Bar TV Sports. Our attention here, though, is the clash between the Lake Macquarie City Roosters and the Adamstown Rosebuds. So 2 teams who are in desperate need of 3 points. The Easter Bunny might not be due until Sunday morning, but these are 2 teams that really want to take the chocolates today. Good afternoon. I'm Daniel Herrero taking you through the call for this one. We'll run through the teams in a moment just as we await a kickoff. So for not too many changes for either team, Lake Macquarie, it'll be Stuart Plant in goals in number 32. Harrison Lane is wearing number 2. It's Sam Webb in number 4. Thomas Walker has switched to number 5. Charlie Cox in number 7, Daniel Miners in number 8, Mitchell Hunter number 9, Campbell Ross number 10, the captain Sam Walker in 11, Zane Winslade is starting in 16, Wade Southall in 18, and on the bench Corey Fletcher, Michael Brew, Kai Abrahams, Harry Taylor and Nick Charlesworth. For the visitors, Adamstown, it's Ben Kelly between the sticks, Oliver Davies in number 2. In defence, Josh Williams in number 5. Matthew Sokulski will be in 7. Judd Duncan in 8. Connor Hayden in 9. We're about to get underway, so just pause for a sec. And referee does get us underway now. It's Lake Macquarie versus Adamstown, and it's intercepted already by Campbell Ross. And turned over again quickly. So as we said, it's Connor Hayden in number 9, who's on the ball now with a slightly misdirected pass. He's in jersey number 9. Chris Berlin, number 10, the captain for Adamstown. Drew Grierson in 15. Manali Papas in 17. Finley Beasley in 19. Talon Martin in 23. The bench for Adamstown, Luke Rutledge, Alex Graham, Thomas Cox, Liam Ryan and Daniel Eisenhower, the reserve goalkeeper. That's 11th hosting 10th this afternoon. Lake Macquarie looking for their first win of the season. Adamstown were finding a bit of form a couple of weeks ago, coming off the back of a reverse though, so they'll be looking to get back to winning ways. Lucas with the throw and it goes short. It's returned to him. It's a fairly pleasant afternoon in Spears Point at the moment. A little bit of cloud around, but excellent conditions for play. We're certainly not complaining for the middle of autumn. The pitch, though, a little bit chopped up from some rain, so that'll just be a challenge, particularly around the middle of the park and also in the goal areas. So maybe something slightly random for the goalkeepers to deal with. Daniel Miners lays it off to Charlie Cox, who shifts it to that far side. And the move just breaks down, so it's Judd Duncan. What can he do? Nice little turn. But then the ball is turned over. Walker lays it off. Not quite. The idea was there, not quite the execution. Oliver Davies will look forward now. And comes up with it again. Just searching at the moment again. Drew Grierson will go after that one. Sends it long. He's turned them around. In fact, it was Beasley who was trying to run onto it. Not quite, though. And he'd be in an offside position. They're going to let that one go. He tried to stay out of it. Assistant's happy with that. Lake Macquarie again trying to play out. Found an avenue to halfway at least. A little chip over the top for Walker. He brings it down. He needs an outlet though. He does find it now. In with Campbell Ross. They try a little 1-2. It doesn't quite come off. And a chance for the Rosebuds to go again now with Connor Hayden. Searching ball, but it's cut out. It's Cody Lucas now for the Roosters, who will earn a throw in. Again, it's Lucas. It's turned over in not the best position. And then a collision middle of the park between Sikulski and Duncan. And Lake Macquarie get away with it. We can see already Sam Walker, nominally a striker, but dropping in deep as well, deeper to try and make things happen. But it's the Rosebuds that are trying to make things happen at the moment. Sikulski trying to atone for that mix-up. He'll earn a corner. Beasley who trots over to take this one. Goes short to Sikulski. And still around Papas, who had a go himself but was blocked. And then one. And Lake Macquarie will try and break now. Walker is running off in support. Winslade was held up though. And Adamstown have regrouped now. Lucas, what can he do? Toiled so hard, set up a goal, sort of, against Hamilton Olympic last week. He's a real outlet for them down that left-hand side. So we'll see what impact he can have in on this game. So Judd Duncan now on the ball for Adamstown. Again, the through ball not quite, although it's awkward body positioning for, was it Walker, I think. Anyway, it's with Daniel Miners now. In fact, it's played back out. Miners again, who goes back to Lane. And they'll just try and shift it across the back. In fact, they'll get Stuart Plant involved now. And out to, we didn't have a 6 on the team sheet. Looks like Thomas Walker is back in his customary 6. In fact, so he had that as 5 early. You'll have to swap that one back as the ball goes through. Quite. Drew Grierson gives it the heave-ho. He's going to come down. It's not cleanly. It's Berlin who will try and set Sikulski free. It's not quite going to drop for him. Got the touch from the defence on the way through. And now Sam Walker again, who has dropped deep again. Now tried to send one through. Not quite going to come off. It's Oliver Davies who'll try and start it again for Adamstown. And again, trying to pick out Sikulski with a long ball, who does come up with it this time. He's getting a bit of attention, so he looks back for support. And all the way back across the back 4 again. And Duncan, he goes back to Davies. In fact, it'll be Kelly and then Davies. Up by Miners, who is in fact given away a foul on Finley Beasley. And out to Hayden, the nutmeg, but not much can quite come of it. They'll get a free kick, in fact. Decent area to swing one in. Sikulski switched sides to stand over it. And a decent one to attack with the left foot. He will go for the cross. It's already over the goal line by the time the man gets the head on it. Header from Williams, so it'll be a Lake Macquarie throw. As we said, Adamstown, they got an away win against Charlestown a couple of weeks ago. But then went and had one of the tougher assignments away against Edgeworth and came off the wrong side of a 4-0. As the cross comes in from Walker, it's threatening, it's beaten everyone by the look of it. And Ben Kelly quite relieved with that. Sokulski, Adamstown will try and break. Berlin is on a real run. He's calling for it. He's been given it now, the captain. But Harrison Lane gets a foot in and breaks it up. This is Pappas. He loses the ball now. And Daniel Miners. Found one to plant. It's probably slightly risky business with the goal area in not the best nick like that. But they do get away with it. That one's a miss kick though, for sure. Thrown will go the other way, in fact. Josh Williams. We look for Berlin. He's asking for a push. I don't think there was too much in it. The referee's fine to let it go. Rolled out to Lane. He puts himself under a bit of pressure. Berlin does get a foot in the way. Now what can they do here? Adamstown, Sokulski to Bellini straight offside. Walker, Thomas Walker that is. Beasley brings it down on the chest. In fact, he's laid it off and might get it back here. Although Walker gets body position and does well. Finds Ross. And Walker goes more direct this time to the other Walker. Cody Lucas now just in front of the benches. Campbell Ross. Searching ball for Miners. And Walker has a go. It's Ross, who I think that was a pass. He's come up with it again. Try and recycle here, will Campbell Ross do. And Beasley, they find a way out now. Finley Beasley. Cuts for Sokulski. Beasley continues the run and gets it back. It's not quite where he wanted it though. It looked like he had Grierson ranging up on that left-hand side but couldn't get it to him. So Lake Macquarie come up with it now. And in fact, Plant waits. And it does fall safely for him in the end. It's Campbell Ross. Once Miners. It's Ross that swoops on it again. And back to Lucas. It's not a bad cross. It's going to be a corner. Drew Grierson dealt with it in the end. No goal kick. Grierson doesn't quite win the aerial battle, but it's enough for Talon Martin, who is taken down by Walker. Davies finds its way through to Berlin. That one doesn't. And now it's Hunter. Pinballed around the stand. We're waiting for another ball at the moment. Josh Williams is anyway. And we're underway again. Short to Berlin. Return to Williams. He beats one and then shifts it to Papas. Goes back to Martin. Lucas gets ahead in the way of it. Ross loses it. So it's Papas. Manali Papas using a bit more space. Now Sikulski. Duncan. Hayden does well to keep it in. The cross is not as great though. All the way back to Plain again. Who puts his foot through it. Does enough for now. Papas. He's got Williams. Hayden. Lucas trying to close down quickly. It was Ross that got the foot in the end, and it's Ross that comes up with it. Too many green shirts to try and get through Cox. Drew Grierson is there to mop up for Adamstown. Hayden, cries of handball, not heeded. Berlin and now Sikulski. Beg your pardon, Beasley. Now it's Williams. Beasley, nice little lay on for Hayden, who takes it in the area. Connor Hayden with a cross, and it's just in front of Berlin. So it rolls safely in the end for a goal kick. A nervous moment briefly, though, for the Roosters. Slade. Who turns back inside and finds Walker. There's no one on the end of that one, so it's Ben Kelly. We've not seen a lot of in the last few minutes. Adamstown just starting to take a slight hold on this one. Oh, there's the evidence of the pitch. It's being a little bit messy. Campbell Ross, Walker with the slide rule. It's still Samuel Walker, gets in behind, but not quite anywhere to go. And that's gone out for a goal kick, is the call. Or maybe a free kick for handball. We'll see in a sec where it gets placed. It's going to get taken as a goal kick. Not that it particularly matters. So Sokulski, Berlin, not quite. Just got held up. He was adamant that one was keeping offside. Lucas was a little bit deeper, but they got away with it in the end. Another left back was deeper than his centre defenders. Push there, surely. Well, no. Okay, we're going to go the other way. And referee decides he wants that one taken on the spot. If it's going to be taken quickly. So Papas with the free kick now. And then Grierson and Sokulski. Beasley's gone on a run. It's not quite the ball, though. Just a bit too much on it. Hayden. And then Duncan. Berlin. Duncan. Papas. Go the long route. Williams back to Papas. Davies. To Martin. Searching, looking for his options. He's been given plenty of time. Judd Duncan, in the end, is the man who he selects. Oliver Davies now. And it does get to Hayden eventually, who keeps it in, does well. Papas. Nice touch to maintain possession of the ball. Williams. Starting to try and work something now, Adamstown. It's a little bit more precise now. A little bit more patient. Sokulski. Fends one off, all the way back to Kelly. Thomas Walker, who goes more direct. So as we said, it is a big day. We've got 3 matches streaming today on Bar TV Sports. Coming up at 4:30. It's one of the traditional Easter clashes, the match of the round. In fact, Lambton Jaffers hosting the Western Workers. at Arthreton Oval. So the A-team are on that one calling. Ben Homer, Chris Turner and Damien Smith. So we hope you can join us for that one as well. We've got Maitland versus Edgeworth going on at the same time as this one too out there at Cook Square Park. Still no score at Macquarie Field in Spears Point. Lucas was calling for it, didn't quite come through to him. Ross, the turn was a bit too light. And that's too much for Lucas. Berlin, he's dropped back a bit deeper again to try and make some things happen. Duncan. Sokulski, who's in plenty of space. Matthew Sokulski brings it into the area. He's going to try and cross, but it's behind Hayden. Just took probably one touch too many. Thought he might have gone on his own. Nice little header from Davies. Left Martin a little bit of work to do, but he did it. Duncan. Sokulski's open again. He tries to go through the middle, though. Not quite. Hunter. Miners. The threat is just increasing slightly from the Rosebuds now. Miners again for the Roosters. Again, it's too slow. Lucas was waiting. He's continued the run. That might come to him this time. Ross, it's laid off. It does get to Lucas, but he's offside. It's a shame. It was a nice move, but just a step too far in the end. Beasley to Davies. And he's got Berlin in behind here. Not quite. Beasley again. There are chances to still make something of this. Duncan. Plant gets to it first. And now tries to find Sam Walker. Not quite. Davies gets a head on it. Papas. Sokulski again. Back to Grierson. Who assesses his options. And he and Sokulski not quite on the same wavelength there. Walker and then Miners. Not quite with the turn. Papas. Papas, he's taken down there by Wade Southall, who goes into the book. And we're not quite half an hour down. The referee pulls out his notebook for the first time. Wade Southall goes in there. Probably actually did Papas a favour in the end because the touch was heavy. Are we going to go direct? We sure are. It's just over. Had Plant worried. Close but no cigar for Tom Davies. Cox. Then Miners, who regains possession. Ross. Heavy touch. He's going to try and get it back, but not quite. So it's Duncan that will try and break with it. And Berlin, who doesn't quite keep it in. I think he disagrees with that. So does Shane Canstall, Sheriff. Miners. Just bobbles around. Beasley comes up with it. And now Southall. And then Lane. Mitchell Hunter, who gets through a couple. Another one. Walker laid off for Hunter. Not quite. Greason got there in the nick of time for Adamstown. Try and make something of this. Lucas can't keep it in, so it will be a green throw. Williams with the through ball. I think it was intended for Beasley, but it was Hayden that got a foot on it in the end. Papas shifts it to Sokulski. Returns. Talon Martin. Papas. Martin has continued the run from the centre of defence. He has it now. In unfamiliar territory, does earn a corner. Beasley to take for Adamstown. Prodded forward by Walker. Sokulski. Beasley's out there again to try and get it in. In fact, he's going to try and walk it in the area. Finley Beasley. Cut out. Sam Walker, who needs support. Lots of green shirts, not many yellow ones. Papas comes up with it. Manali Papas. Walker again, this time it's Ross that's moving forward. Davies is in the middle of that. Now it's Grierson. And Walker has come up with it. Hunter goes. Too much. Miners, still contested in the middle of the park. It's opposite number. Judd Duncan that got in the way of it. Ross does keep it in. A little bit of acrobatics, but Duncan has it. Now Williams. Hayden, Williams, working well in tight spaces now. Lays it off, not quite intentionally, but it worked out for Berlin, although it gives Davies a bit to do, too much to do. Harrison Lane. Beasley comes up with it. Foul against Sokulski, though. Plant asking his men to move up. Hunter, Walker. He's got a bit to do. He's done a bit already though, Walker. Martin refuses that one. Sikulski does still come up with it. 3 forward, but plenty of yellow shirts back if they stay organised. Beasley. Reinforcements coming for the Rosebud. Sikulski, who's beaten a couple. Martin. Plenty of space for Williams to try and get something going now. Beasley calling for it far side. It goes near side. It's back with Williams. Duncan. And Davies. And Hayden. Southall. It was intended for Walker, but it's gone behind him in the end. So it's Davies that is with it. Duncan wanted it quicker. It's a head clash there, but look at between Walker and Duncan. I think Duncan's actually come off worse there, just judging by the reaction. We go on though, Walker and Duncan, the aforementioned, and that's pretty lazy effort at a challenge. And I think that's Sam Walker being told that the referee's not going to have any more of that. Probably just happy with careless for now. I don't think it was especially cynical, but not the best attempt to try and win the ball. Papas comes up with it. And Duncan. Falls to Williams. Headed forward by Lane. Greason will try and tidy up. Now Judd Duncan. Getting into an advanced position. That's a foul. And are we going to have another one in the book here? It looks like we are. Zane Winslade will be the second man into the referee's notebook this afternoon. Another free kick in this sort of threatening area for Adamstown. I think this one's going to be a cross rather than a shot. 4 of them lined up and waiting. It's Martin at the back post, but it was Campbell Ross who did get the head on it in the end. And that is a nice ball, finds Cox, who then lays it on for Hunter. But that's Williams who's gone across to his opposite side to clean up for Adamstown. Duncan and Sikulski and Beasley. Southall comes up with it instead. Lane. Duncan, the everywhere man at the moment. Williams has stayed over there for now. Sam Walker and Mitchell Hunter and Cox. Hayden. And Ross. Try and put Walker in behind, not quite. Plant gives it a nudge, but Williams is waiting for it. He still hasn't swapped back with Grierson. And we are going to have another booking. It's for an earlier incident, I'm not quite sure exactly what. But Mitchell Hunter now sees yellow. Southall back to Thomas Walker. Goes short to Southall. Grierson with the throw to Hayden. Sold short. But they win it back. Sold short again. Duncan. Sikulski. Beasley. Sikulski finds a little bit of room to move now. Goes on his own from distance. Sikulski. Gave Plant something to think about. Cries of a push. Certainly Walker had two hands on. And Ross comes up with it after Williams tried to shepherd it out. So it's Campbell Ross. And now Walker. Oh, sprays it. Just had to readjust and wasn't quite on balance when he tried to put his foot through it. Two balls on the pitch temporarily. Grierson is back in the left back position. Beasley. Southall behind him, too much to try and do there. Josh Williams gives Connor Hayden some work to do, which he does manfully. Papas. Manoli Papas. Papas short for Papas Biropoulos, of course, which is something we're grateful for. They'll oblige with that abbreviation. Beasley. Little chip. Caught in two minds there, maybe. Davies just turns and tries to play it out of danger, and does, but there's a mix-up between Lucas. It's Berlin that comes up with it. Hayden, what can he make of this cross? He's found Beasley back stick. His defender in the way, and it's going to be a free kick. Miners. Grierson gives it the old heave-ho. Ross. Nice little turn. Papas. He's head up now. Hayden. Sikulski. Strong on the ball. Now it's nicked off him. Hunter and Walker. Misplaced. Beasley kept it in, but only for Winslade to go on a bit of a run. It's Walker who concedes another free kick. Remember, he just got that talking to a couple of minutes ago, but we're sure that one was a more genuine attempt at trying to pinch the ball. So we start to wind down in the opening stanza at Macquarie Field. What price a goal now? Southall. It's going to be kept in by Winslade Plant, who had a bit of work to do. Walker and Southall. Lane, can they fashion something with half-time approaching? Not like that, they're not, but it comes back fortuitously. Interesting challenge with studs showing. Duncan has stayed down. Right knee that's causing him a bit of grief. Beasley. Miners. Walker, Miners. Lucas. The cross in, it's too low, it's temporarily dealt with, and that will be that for the first half at Macquarie Field. So a couple of half chances either way, probably favouring Adamstown on balance, but no score so far. So half time in this round 7 NPL Northern New South Wales fixture. It's Lake Macquarie City Roosters 0, Adamstown Rosebuds 0, and we'll be back shortly for the second half live on Bar TV Sports. Welcome back again. Just about time for the second half at Macquarie Field. It's round 7 of the National Premier League's Northern New South Wales, live on Bar TV Sports. It's Lake Macquarie City Roosters versus the Adamstown Rosebuds, which is playing out in front of us at the moment. Still no score after 45 minutes of play. A couple of half chances either side. It looks like we don't have any halftime substitutions, but we'll keep an eye out for you. It's good afternoon again from myself, Daniel Herrero, taking you through this match this afternoon. One of 3 matches in NPL Northern New South Wales going on the Savo on a big Good Friday of football. As we said, coming up after this one, we'll go to Arthur Eden Oval, where it's the Lambton Jaffers hosting the Western Workers in their traditional Easter fixture. And we'll have the A-team calling that one as well, headed up by Ben Homer. Of course, Damien Smith and Chris Turner as well. We're actually waiting for a ball at the moment, which is usually a fairly essential aspect of the game, I think, is what the hold-up is. Oh, the referees as well, too. They're probably pretty important as well. Something which hadn't had to do too much. We've had a trio of bookings, all for men in yellow. Southall, Winslade and Hunter. And it will be the hosts, Lake Macquarie, that have the kickoff for the second half, as they search for their first points of the campaign. And Adamstown going after their second win after they got up over the Charlestown City Blues a couple of weeks ago. So as we said, 2 teams that are highly motivated to win this one. So draw doesn't really suit either. They both need the 3 points to kickstart their seasons. We're about to kickstart the second half. We're just waiting for the referee's whistle, and we go now. And it was Miners who sent it long. And it's Davies already. Walker gets in the way of it, so it'll be Williams that comes up with it. Beasley calling for it. Lake Macquarie, bit of pressing, and they've come up with it again. They've forced the error. Lane plays it out to Winslade. He tries to go the aerial route, but Ben Kelly will gladly accept that in between the sticks for Adamstown. Back up the guts, and then Martin, but it's Lucas who's going to come up with it with a head of steam. He's going to try and take on Hayden by the look of it, and he's going to win a free kick for his trouble. Lucas will look to swing this in. In fact, it stayed low. Martin knocks it back out. So it's Cox who goes back to Lucas, who slips, and it's an even less effective ball this time. So we said it's a decent weather for play. In fact, it's a fairly gorgeous day around Spears Point at the moment. A little bit of cloud, but very nice to play football. The surface, though, is looking slightly the worse for wear. I think just some wear on it and some rain, and it's a bit patchy. We've seen a couple lose their footing already so far. Williams, Hayden and Sikulski, who was involved in a fair bit in the first half. Moving all the way across the pitch, was he, in number 7. For Adamstown, Lake Macquarie will have the throw. And Lucas not too much going. He does find Ross though. Gets it back. Now it's Duncan, who looks for Beasley, has plenty of space. Can't, well, he does end up beating him in the end. So it's Beasley with the ball through a little bit too much. So it's Winslade rather. Winslade has continued the run and he's rewarded with the ball again. Winslade against his opposite defenders. Now Walker. He's come into a dead end. Beasley. Berlin. Papas. He'll try and work something on the break. Miners was in strongly. Walker. Not a bad effort, but Kelly knew where his posts were. Ross kept it in for Hayden. It wasn't quite his intention. Now Hayden does keep it in the chest. Berlin tries to hold it up and does so, does well, which means that there's some room for Beasley to move on the left-hand side. Ball is over. Back out to Beasley. They'll try again. What can he do here? He's going to try and carry it into the area himself. Beasley still going. Goes on his own. Straight at the keeper, though. Walker. Thomas Walker, that is. Talon Martin. Ross. Fairly clear-cut free kick. In case you didn't jump over it, last check, just as they were about to get to halftime at Cook Square Park, it was Edgeworth up by the only goal of the game out there in Maitland. That one sailed over everyone. Looks like it's going to be Grierson and Beasley, his other shaggy head partner in crime. Beasley's gone through both of them. He's done well here. Can he beat a third? Does, but it's taken him long. And in fact, it got touched on the way through by Winslade, so he gets a corner out of it. Is this one going to go short? Sikulski's waiting for it. It sure does. Sikulski sends it over. Papas. Going to try and work something here. Now the shot comes in. Plant might have been slightly unsighted, but he was down well enough. It's on its way. Davies has to readjust, but in the end just shepherds back for Kelly. And he shall be on the ball now, Oliver Davies. Now Drew Grierson. Papas. Martin. See, Lake Macquarie in their banks of four. So they've gone long now. Southall got to it first. Winslade, rather, sorry. As that, I'm still getting my 6s and 9s mixed up. It was Zane Winslade in number 16. I'll learn those one day. Actually, Wade Southall's back in 18 anyway. He was originally, he's usually 19. He's playing in number 18 today, so we're all over the shop here. This is Sam Walker, though. I can say that with certainty. He's got Lucas. Cody Lucas goes on his own. And an effective enough save. So it's Walker, Thomas Walker, that is this time. Trying to pick out his namesake, but not quite. Berlin. Misdirected. That's Southall. Lane. Southall. Too many bodies. In fact, that was Miners. Sikulski. Hayden. Looking forward. Switch of play. It does get to Beasley eventually. They're not to cover, but Beasley does get inside. Winslade. Still Winslade. Hunter. Lane. Thomas Walker, who brings it up on his own now, takes the space available. And back inside, Campbell Ross. Cody Lucas, he brings it into the area again, looks for the cutback. Not quite. Grierson gives it a whack. Here's Ross again. Managed to get past his man, Campbell Ross. Here's Walker. Goes across. Oh, and the header took it away from... Who was queuing up at the back there? It might have been Ross again. This is Miners. And Lucas. Starting to get more involved again in the second half. Cody Lucas. Too much to do there. And we're going to have the first change of the game. It's Michael Brew waiting on the sideline. And it's Michael Brew who will slot into defence for Lake Macquarie. They're underway again. So it was Winslade who had the early finish for Lake Macquarie. Just wonder if maybe the earlier booking did play into that ever so slightly. It was, of course, Winslade's first start of the season as well, so there may be a question about match fitness. So he's done a shift of about 55 minutes, and Michael Brew is on now in the right back position. Papas in a slightly unusual position. Manali Papas goes on his own, dribbles through, and Platt's happy to let that one roll over the goal line. Williams and Duncan. And looks for Berlin. Oh, it's dropped. Chris Berlin has a chance. He's taken it wide. Berlin still with it. He'll try the cutback across the face. Thomas Walker. And now Lake Macquarie try and bring it out. Cody Lucas. Ball over the top, trying to find Hunter. Keeper is out with a header. Miners, goals open. Almost, no, not quite. A couple of frantic moments either end. Still we stay scoreless at Macquarie Field. Liam Ryan waiting near the technical area at the moment. So we could have an injection of fresh legs for Adamstown as well pretty shortly. Scooped by Ross, not quite his intention I don't think. Grierson. Beasley. Quite get the touch. And Berlin had fistfuls of Lane's jersey. Looks like we are going to get that change now. So it will be Liam Ryan who's coming on, and Chris Berlin, the captain, will be withdrawn. Free kick is going to be left for Stuart Plant. I always wonder about shifting at half a metre when you're all the way down there taking a free kick, but anyway, must be a psychological thing. Always trying to pinch a little bit. Hunter. Davies sends it. Walker collects. Thomas Walker. To Samuel Walker. Turns inside. And goes. And straight at the keeper again. Ben Kelly holds it comfortably. Grierson. On a run now. Still Grierson. Been tagged on the way through there. No free kick. Miners sends it too far. It's Duncan that'll start us off from the left back position again. He goes to, who's that, Hayden, I think. Grierson, we're going to have a free kick. I'll admit I followed the ball, but anyway. It's a Lake Macquarie free kick. Adamstown come back out again after retreating for the free kick. Not the greatest touch from Plant, but he gets away with that one. Lane, who's more assured, goes back to Plant. Goes the other way. Helped on. Walker. Sam Walker. First time. And wide again. But Ben Kelly still not happy with Walker being left with so much space to shoot. The armband is now being handed over to Oliver Davies after the recent withdrawal of Chris Berlin. So it's gone from a striker to a centre defender. Beasley needed a step ladder and didn't have one. The new man Brew for Lake Macquarie takes the throw. Too many people for Hunter to try and get through. Southall. Sends Davies back the other way. Just in a little bit of pressure. And tries to play out of it, but they do turn it over. Papas. Put it behind Ryan, but it's flicked on for Sikulski. Sikulski buries it. And we have a goal. Adamstown take the lead. Just past the hour mark. It's Matthew Sikulski that knocked it in, and the Rosebuds go up 1-0. So Matt Sikulski with his second goal of the campaign. And at this rate, Adamstown on track for their second win of the campaign. It already looks much more urgent for Lake Macquarie straight from the kickoff. Sam Walker prodded it forward, but not quite on the same wavelength as Hunter. Beasley, Brew in hard. Man first, concedes the free kick. As you'd expect, it just feels a little bit more urgent now from both sides, in fact. Not a bad ball through, didn't quite get all the way. Liam Ryan. Beasley to Ryan again, who's staved off by Davies, Lane rather. Davies opposite number. We're going to have another substitution. So Nick Charlesworth is the new man for Lake Mac, making his first start of the season. His shirt normally worn by Morgan Okeno, number 12. Greason takes the throw. Ryan has come up with it now, not for long. Brew gets in the way of it. Southall sends it, and now it's Charlesworth going after it. Doesn't quite have the legs, so it's Sikulski, the goal scorer. Papas. Martin in pressure. Sam Walker will go to goal. Walker. And he's found an equalizer, a tidy finish from Sam Walker. And just like that, we're back on level terms. Walker punishes the error in clinical fashion. And the Roosters back in this. How quickly it can change. 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes. Underway again. Sikulski tried to go through his man. Not quite. Ryan. Sikulski. Still going. Beasley, you'll find, who was onside. Had a bit of work to do with the chest, but keeps it in. And back to Grierson. Papas looks up. Thought he might have shaped for a shot there, but he thinks better of it. Heavy touch, but they still have it. Ryan. 2 Lake Macquarie shirts, though, in his way. Charlesworth. The substitute. Should have the energy. Does he? Outruns Duncan. It's a ball across. Kelly is out well and does well to hold it. Had to hold it, really. Beasley back to Grierson. Brew. Beasley. Brew took too long, but they'll get it back. Brew. He's run over the sideline by Papas. Breeze has just picked up a bit in the last couple of minutes. Actually getting a bit cool here now, although we are in the shade under the grandstand behind the Bar TV camera. Steph's doing an excellent job for us, working the camera this afternoon. He said we're streaming this one live, we're streaming Edgeworth versus Maitland live, and Lambton versus the Western Workers is coming up at about 4:30 from Arthur Eden Oval, just back in town, sort of. The match of the round, they've designated that one in a regular Easter clash. I remember calling that one myself last year. In fact, Walker to Brew. Cross was not too much of a threat. Papas. Quick thinking. Beasley. Beasley still comes up with it. More luck than management, I think. In fact, it's gone out. Given a nudge long. Beasley stoops. And then wins it back the hard way. He's got it back. Ryan. Duncan. Ryan. Liam Ryan. Beasley's waiting and receives. Brew blocks the ball over, and it'll be a corner for the Rosebuds. Lofted corner. Makes its way to the back, Talon Martin. Williams helps it back along. He's given Sikulski some work to do. And does it well, and is then taken down by Webb. And I'll be honest, I can't see what's going on there either. We've got one for, it's an indirect free kick. I think we've got dangerous play even, maybe. It's certainly not offside because Adamstown have the freebie. So we are indirect, although not that you'd be likely to score directly from there. It did happen the other day. Knocked away by Ross, but only as far as Beasley. Grierson. Brew with the longish throw. Walker tries to flick it on. Charlesworth. Brew with the long throw. Walker was waiting for it, but it was Williams who got the head on it. Beasley, who's been getting involved in a lot lately in particular. It's not his best work, though. Alex Graham standing at halfway. It might be next out for the man in number 6. Grierson's caught one in the mush. It's Daniel Miners, and now it's Cody Lucas. Cody Lucas will look for the cutback. It's blocked. Are we going to have that substitution now? Usually the mantra is not to do it when you're defending a corner, and they don't. And Luke Rutledge being sent to warm up as well. Sam Webb wanders over to the far corner to take the corner. Charlesworth has just trotted back. Looks like he's about to try and race into the area. Maybe. No, he's going to stay out of it. Corner comes in. It's a good, it's a header from Hunter. Half decent contact, but misdirected. No, it's actually Rutledge that's going to come on now. It's Talon Martin, who was half limped off, which is interesting. So Rutledge, the new man. The goal kick's straight out of play, so Brew will get us started again. Sam Walker will come up with it. Plenty of space for Charlesworth. Charlesworth buries it. And Lake Macquarie go ahead. Nick Charlesworth finds himself on the score sheet in his first appearance of the season with a vital goal for the Roosters. So now they've come from behind, and they are about 18 minutes plus stoppages away from the first win, first points even of the season. Not the first time they've troubled the scorers twice in a match, but they do lead this one now. And they would draw level with Adamstown, who are currently 10th with an extra game on the few teams to have played all 6 so far. Lucas. And get a third and try and make sure of this. It's untidy at the back for Adamstown now. All of a sudden, it's they that are under pressure. Walker with the ball in. Snapshot for Hunter. Shovels it. Plant. Walker. Ross. Campbell Ross, who's been in the centre of a lot of Lake Macquarie's work at the moment. Charlesworth, ball over this time. Not quite. Sikulski. Oh, he's copped one on the shin. And Walker, who just had to dive into my notes for a second. He has not been booked, though, yet. He has now. So the captain, he has a goal. He has a card now to go with it. It's not the only one. Southall and Hunter still on the field with yellows against their name. Brew on the head. And again, Miners helps it along, as does Ross. Hunter has come back for it. Not quite. Grierson try and restore some order, but again the pitch, it just bobbles on him and shins it. Beasley trips over it. Rutledge. Might have been the second touch of the game, maybe. Luke Rutledge, the new man for Adamstown. Pappas got to it first, so it's Josh Williams who has a bit of time to think. Duncan tries a little chip, but there was no one running onto it. So Plant will take as much time as he can. There's still 14 and a half plus stoppages. As we've seen, there's plenty that can happen in not a lot of time. Hunter gets back and wins it. Lucas. Charlesworth keeps it in. Hunter with it again. Ross. He's just dropped a bit deeper now than he had been. Now they try and go the aerial route. Does get to Sam Walker. Holds it up. Charlesworth. It's forced wide by Davies. The ball comes back in. It's plucked out of the air by Ben Kelly. Tries to go quickly. Beasley. And then Ryan manages to get past one. Liam Ryan still going. He'll try and lay it off for Sikulski, but it was Webb that got a foot in the way. And it's Cody Lucas. Lake Macquarie trying again now. It's Ross. He was run out of space. It's Ryan who wins the free kick. Duncan back to Grierson. Beasley that looks like he's taken a knock. What's he holding? He's holding his face, I think. Eye, maybe. We're not going to have a change yet. So they'll just try and see how this plays out. So Adamstown temporarily down to 10. And Sikulski finds his way through to Hayden. Connor Hayden doing there. Charlesworth goes down. Sikulski has been taken down, legally so, they say. Thomas Walker. And on for Campbell Ross. Beasley's asking to be allowed to come back on, and referee does call him now. Brew might have been in a little bit late. He's going to win the throw-in though. Not quite cleared yet. Charlesworth got the head on it, went the wrong way. Walker goes for it. Was always rising. And now we've got one writhing. So it is Josh Williams who's just going to get some attention now as well. Long Southall wins it. Charlesworth. Williams is back on the pitch. Charlesworth all the way through to Walker. Volleys. Skews it. That was a tough one to try and take. And I think he was trying to win a rebound there, but ended up with the nutmeg instead. Got to get the extra ball off the pitch. Greason is waiting to take the throw in. He's allowed to now. Brew. Beasley instead, though. Not quite. Duncan got it off him in the end. Southall and then Charlesworth, who's in a bit of open pasture. Williams is waiting for him. And in the it's Davies. And Williams. Southall. To Walker. Ross over for Charlesworth. It looks, drills it in. Didn't quite get in. In fact, it's going to stay in the field of play though. Now he's stuck in a corner. Can he win something from this? It's Duncan who earns a throw in for Adamstown. They're asking for it to come quickly. Liam Ryan. And then Papas, I think. Grierson and Beasley. And return to Beasley. Papas. Then Duncan. Back with Papas. Williams. And Tom Cox is about to come on for Adamstown. Is that getting called over or sent over? It is Williams, I think, who's just been told to take the quick route off the field. So it's Cox that's come on, and yeah, it looks like it is Williams who's just walked over that far touch line. Ryan goes on his own. Ryan just over the bar. Go again, Beasley. First time, Ryan. Liam Ryan, he tries to slide one through. There's a bit of a mix-up at the back. It's gone just right side of the post as far as Lake Macquarie are concerned. Nice little bit of gamesmanship from Sam Webb there as well to try and keep that other ball on the field. So yes, it is Samuel Webb in number 4 for Lake Macquarie, in fact. Not a bad corner. Punched by Plant. Papas doesn't quite get through them all. And the final change of the match. Corey Fletcher comes on. Dived into my notes. I didn't quite catch who came off. It might have been Ross. I'll try and work out through process of elimination in a sec. Well, the ground announcer will bail me out. I think it was Campbell Ross who's come off now. And the free kick conceded by Brew against the new man for Adamstown, Thomas Cox. Ryan to Sikulski, who opened the scoring this afternoon. Beasley. Papas. Ryan, who's now on the left flank, and dribbles in and draws a foul. Another yellow ticket is handed out to Fletcher, who only just came on. Duncan takes. Plant is out to it. Adamstown will get another chance though. Homegrown boy is surprisingly obliging. And Sikulski wastes no time either. It's gone over everyone. It's nearly gone in. In fact, it was already... Was it already over the goal line? No. Might have had a free kick. I don't think I saw the assistant signal anything. But I must admit I was following the ball. No, it is a goal kick. Two more minutes plus stoppages for Adamstown to try and rescue something after they took the lead. Didn't have it for long, only the best part of a couple of minutes, really. Forceful chest, Sam Walker. To Walker. He's trying to make something. He's run out of support now. Walker, he's going to have to play it back. Chip in from Southall. Interesting header. Thomas Walker. Kelly. Gets them going straight away again with Finley Beasley. Pitch took it away from him slightly, and that's played behind him by Cox. Greason. Duncan. Over the top, but Walker got a foot in there. There's still 2 balls on the pitch, so Ryan has to run over and get rid of one of them. Greason. Not going to find his way through. Sam Walker rather, has come a fair way back. Papas, Beasley. Can he craft? Papas. Offside is the call. Player wasn't waiting for it. They've had, 6 subs this half and 3 goals, so you'd have to suggest a healthy dose of stoppage time. At least 3 minutes, I'd think, which we've used up a bit over half now. That was Sam Webb getting in the way of that. Charlesworth tries to switch. It's not going to get there. Rutledge. It's going to roll out. And that'll suit the men in yellow very nicely at this rate. Rutledge with the header, but over the touchline. Into the area, not quite cleared yet. Papas. Beasley, who's tried to send Sikorsky on a run. Beasley. Oh, Brew. Nice little bit of skill as well to Charlesworth. Not a lot going on. He's going to take up some time. He's going to take up more time now with a free kick and a booking against Connor Hayden. These seconds becoming more and more valuable as they tick away. Sam Webb strolls up to it. He is in no hurry at all to take this one. Walker nearly brings it down. He's been sent a bit wide. He's not going to go to the corner. I think I heard that being called, but no. And now he goes. Walker, good save from Kelly. He sent it short. Greason will try and walk it out. Still going, but Charlesworth No, Grierson forces it through. Liam Ryan is set free. Cox is waiting, centre of the park. Oh, not quite the best cross. That was the moment. As referee, I think, checks his watch. Ryan, how long? Can he get it over? It's going to be a corner. Is this the last chance? Lake Macquarie have got 11 stacked in the box. Corner is over the top. And out of play. Ball's at Stuart Plant's feet. And it's all over. And Lake Macquarie City have their first win of the season. And they've come from behind to do it no less. It's goals to Sam Walker and Nick Charlesworth after Matt Sikulski got us started for Adamstown. They all came in the second half. They all came in a relative rush. 62nd minute, 64th minute, 73rd minute. But at the end of the day, the scoreboard reads Lake Macquarie City 2, Adamstown Rosebuds 1. So City move on to 3 points, level with Adamstown. As we get round 7 of NPL Northern New South Wales underway. It continues shortly over at Arthur Eden Oval if you want to switch streams pretty soon, where Lambton is hosting Western. But from Macquarie Field, it is thanks for joining us and bye for now.